whispering shadows the haunted nursing home. The nursing home sits quietly at the end of a weary gravel road. Its exterior, ordinary by day, washes over in shades of gloom by nightfall. Clocked in 50 years of operation, it tends not just to the living, but something else. The whispers of residents tell of ghostly shadows, midnight conversations, and chilling encounters with the dearly departed. This is not your average haunted tale. As the camera pans through empty hallways with distant echoes, the light flickers. These airless rooms hold secrets, and tonight we are venturing in. What happens when restless spirits interrupt the final chapters of those who dwell here? Be warned, not all stories end with peace. In her room on the far side of the nursing home, an elderly resident named Margaret clutches the edge of her blankets. She has seen them many times before. A faint figure often sits at the foot of her bed. Its presence is undeniable. The visitor doesn't always speak, but when it does, its words weigh heavily on her soul. The spirit asks about mortality, curious yet somber. What does it feel like to be nearing the end? How does one prepare for the unknown? Another resident, Gerald, recalls a different encounter. Late one night, he woke to find a blurred outline pacing by the window. This presence whispered in hushed tones, requesting a simple favor. "Please, can you help me find peace?" Gerald admits he didn't know what to do. These encounters blur the division between compassionate understanding and overwhelming fear. The spirits are not malevolent, but their persistence grows stronger. The residents feel as though they carry the weight of not only their own lives, but the unfinished business of others who cannot seem to move on. Who are they? And why have they returned to this particular place? The nursing home staff have heard the stories too, but they remain divided. "It's just dreams," says one nurse as she arranges medication trays. As people age, their minds wander, especially in an old building like this. The sounds at night, that's just the pipes creaking. But there are others who are not as sure. A janitor walking the halls during his late-night shift recalls hearing heavy sighs echoing behind him, only to turn around and find no one there. The faint scent of perfume, unfamiliar and untraceable, lingers in empty rooms. One staff member mentions that when the CCTV is reviewed, odd flashes of light sometimes appear where no source exists. Could it all be stress-induced paranoia, or does something truly lie beyond explanation? Paranormal experts suggest this nursing home serves as a liminal space, a bridge between our world and the unknown. These aren't places of constant chaos, they are quiet, reflective spaces. And perhaps for that reason, spirits are drawn here. They find individuals who are themselves nearing life's end, people who might understand their final moments better than anyone else ever could. Dr. Evelyn Harris, a researcher of spiritual phenomena, offers insight. Most hauntings are tied to emotion, fear, guilt, love. These energies don't fade with death. Instead, they linger like echoes. They seek resonance. A nursing home filled with emotions of all kinds, sorrows of aging, fears of death, moments of joy, might well be an inviting space for such resonance. The concept is both fascinating and chilling. Could the living act as beacons to these lost souls? Are the residents chosen messengers for those seeking solace? Interestingly, this nursing home's foundations might provide some clues. The ground it's built on once housed a residence for workers decades ago, a place associated with sudden tragedies, accidental deaths, forgotten names. Perhaps those who lived here never left entirely. The pale walls and dim corridors seem to hum with untold memories. Transcending time, the spirits that now linger may not have ties to the building alone, though. They could be linked to the residents themselves, deceased loved ones, old acquaintances, or strangers who see themselves reflected in the living souls they visit. Our team of investigators arrive as the clock strikes midnight. Armed with lights, cameras, and electronic voice phenomenon EVP recorders, they begin their careful exploration of the nursing home. The aim? To determine whether the whispers that plague residents are superstition, delusion, or tangible evidence of the supernatural. First, the investigators enter room 12B, Margaret's quarters. They set up an EVP session asking, "If anyone is here, can you tell us your name?" The recorder picks up faint static, then something unsettling. A hushed voice murmur, "Home. Who is it that considers this room their home?" Next, the team moves into the common area. Even in the chill of the attached garden, the stillness seems heavy, electric. The group reports sporadic, unexplainable cold spots, sharp drops in temperature as they step closer to certain chairs or corners. On their infrared camera, a vague silhouette appears briefly in the distance before vanishing into the wall. Could these entities be tethered to specific locations or objects, memories encoded into the fiber of the nursing home itself? Whatever the spirit's motives may be, what is certain is how deeply these ethereal presences connect with the residents. For some, like Gerald, the ghosts feel almost like companions. "It's not like I want to see them," he explains, "but I don't mind it either. It's nice to have someone there, even if they're not alive anymore." Others, like Eleanor, react with anxiety, her hands trembling as she recalls her last encounter. "It keeps asking me if I'm ready. Ready for what? I don't know if I want to find out." Their divergent reactions mirror the audience's own questions. Is what haunts them simply fear of death, or is it truly the spectral remnants of those whose lives remain incomplete? Of course, skepticism always finds its place in paranormal discourse. Could these ghostly encounters stem from the residents' own emotional fragilities? Aging minds subject to stress, frailty, and the side effects of medication might perceive things that aren't truly there. The staff's explanations are rooted in science, broken sleep cycles, isolation, and the occasional stray light from passing cars. But how do we explain the consistent stories? The patterns reported, not just by residents, but also by staff and visitors, paint a picture that feels too vivid to dismiss entirely. If shared hallucinations are impossible, what remains is a mystery that even skepticism struggles to solve. One resident, 83-year-old Anna, shares perhaps the most poignant tale of all. A ghost she describes as a middle-aged man frequently visits her, dressed as though he's just come from a church service. He speaks softly, often apologizing for bothering her, his voice trembling as he asks the same question each time. "Can you forgive me?" But Anna doesn't know who he is or what he needs forgiveness for. She can feel his desperation, yet has no way to offer him comfort. The spirit fades each time before he can finish his thought. For Anna, it's a paradox. She wants the visits to stop, but hates leaving him unanswered. "It's heartbreaking," she says, because it feels like he's hurting too. As the investigation winds down and morning's light filters into the nursing home, one fact becomes clear. This place is more than it seems. Whether a liminal bridge, a comforting haven, or a stage for lost souls, the nursing home's walls hold stories that defy explanation. The team reviews the night's recordings. Chilling audio clips confirm disembodied whispers, and hazy apparitions captured on video offer undeniable moments of unease. But more than recordings, what lingers is the emotional weight of those who dwell here, both the living and the dead. Beyond the footsteps and flickering shadows lies a potent reminder that death is not a closed chapter. Instead, it's a page some cannot stop rereading. We leave you with one simple question. What would you do if a ghost came to you? Not with terror, but with questions about existence, about death, about what comes next. Would you listen or would you run? As the distant hum of life carries on outside the home, perhaps somewhere, the whispers of the past will always echo. After all, some spirits only want what we all crave, someone to hear them. As the screen fades to black, the faint, chilling words linger in the air. We're still here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.